Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Mary, can I have a roll call, please?
Harold Leggett, Nick Ralston,
Here.
Spencer Bradnan,
Here.
Troy Blum,
Here.
Larry Clark,
Here.
Hope Morris, Adrian Sandoval.
Here. All right, thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda approved. Audience participation. I know we have Mr. Curtis Mork for the Lions Club. Did you ladies want to?
We're here with St. Nicholas.
Okay.
But actually, I do have a question if you don't mind letting me.
No, absolutely. You
Take a
can come to the podium and state your name and your address. I greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Right now?
Yep.
Okay, very good. My name is Wendy Mouse. I live at 475 Soar Lane. And I just have a question. I keep meaning to call and ask because it's probably something more for the office to tell me, but do we have any kind of ordinance on drones in town?
No.
Okay, so can I explain why I would like to have one? In my neighborhood, a lot of our houses have skylights, and the skylights are in our bathrooms. So we have people flying their drones with their cameras over our homes at all times of the day, and I personally have 2 teenage daughters. So it is something that concerns me. So just want to bring that to your attention and see if you can give that some thought.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Curtis.
Right?
And actually, I'm glad she's here because I'm going to give her one of those.
Thank you.
So, 5 years ago now, the Lions Club called Town Hall and asked if we could bring back the town Christmas parade, and they were like, go right ahead, because we agreed to take care of pretty much everything. And we didn't know what to expect. We put out some registration forms, told people they could bring tables and doors and crafts, whatever. And that first year was phenomenal. I think we had 16 entries. We had 6 or 7 booths at the community center with doing arts and crafts. Somebody brought a popcorn machine. I know last year the Silver Spur fed spaghetti and garlic bread to everybody that came there for free, which blew our minds. So this year, being our 5th annual, we are trying to up the game a little bit. And so this year we are paying homage to Charlie Brown because of Charles Schultz. Literally, the first year we did Snowman, we've done Rudolph, we did Santa Claus, and then last year I think it was Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. So we keep trying to come up with new ideas. So I just wanted to let the town know, Troy already knows it's a go for this year. We've already started receiving some calls and emails about it. It'll be on Saturday, December 15th, which is the 3rd Saturday of the month. It's worked out well every year except for, what was it, 2016 when it was like 20 below outside. The party at the community center was great, but the parade kind of got canceled. So. But anyway, if anyone has any questions, my phone number is on the flyers, and or if the town wants to be in the parade. I know Troy said they're going to provide fireworks again, which has been a big hit, so people love it. So if anyone needs anything from me, you know how to get a hold of me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you. I'll defer the town float to the mayor and the board.
You guys need a float.
All right, any other audience participation? All right. Approval of the consent agenda, which includes the meeting minutes for August 21st, 2018.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We'll move on to action items. Public hearing to consider a special event permit, malt, Guinness, and spirits liquor, Lincoln Park, September 15th, from noon to 6, St. Nicholas Catholic Church picnic. Vicky Medina and Wendy Mass. Okay. We're going to open the public hearing to consider a special event permit and to be held, or for the activities to be held on September 15th at Lincoln Park. Need a motion?
Well, any comment on public hearing?
Yeah, do you want, I guess we should ask if there's any public comment, or if the board wants to have any deliberation or any questions of the applicant.
Any questions?
Standard
Concerns?
what we do here.
Yep. All right.
The one question I had is it's an enclosed beer garden, is that right?
We will rope it off, yes.
Do you know about where in the, I haven't seen the site plan.
Where in the park?
Yeah.
We were just looking at that tonight. We're thinking we're gonna be, between the playground and the library and kind of towards the east side a little bit. So kind of towards the east, the middle east end of that area.
Cool. I was just curious.
Okay. You're welcome to join us.
So we can go.
That's where we'll be. Cornhole tournament happening right next to it, so.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions, comments? All right, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve special event permit, Lincoln Park, September 15, 2018, from noon to 6.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
All right.
You're approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
By the playground.
no
Perfect.
walk the playground.
And I believe we're gonna, that's up on the marquee, or it will be, too.
Oh, thank you.
And this next week on the townwide message, I'll put it on the townwide message.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very generous.
All right, moving on, we have action item B, ordinance 772. Mr. Rankin?
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor. Your agenda cover sheet is pretty lengthy. This is all relating toward the Veterans Memorial some facet. There's actually a number of items. The first one is an ordinance for amending some minor edits to the municipal code. Let me backtrack. I met with Penny Salazar and Mike Evans with the committee along with David over a month ago about just some edits to our current cemetery regulations, the memorial language in our code when it was established back in 2010, and then also the MOU that we talked about briefly in recent past. So ordinance 772 is to amend the municipal code. There's basically some cross out, very minor. Initially when the code was adopted, when the memorial was established, it read that intent that to be used by basically any person in the community based upon the committee. They felt that the memorial for the services should be veterans and their immediate spouses. We kind of went off how Fort Logan does theirs in Denver. Like my father-in-law and my mother-in-law both buried at the same side, down in my wife's parents. So that was really the focus behind this one. Do you mind if I just talk about all items together?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
And then the MOU, the Memorial Committee met this afternoon for a couple hours. I talked to Penny as well as Mr. Evans, and there's Marilyn and several others that were there in attendance. The MOU, we talked about before in the study session, that just memorializes, Kenny put these together for us, the town's responsibilities and the committee's responsibility as far as care and upkeep. And then they would also, when a service request comes in for a veteran who passes, then that would be initially coordinated by town hall, as we would within burial service, and then we contact the committee to assist them with a service, funeral, military service at the memorial. So they would take care of those issues. Otherwise, it didn't have anything specific. It's pretty general, but it does give some good guidelines, and I think the committee was fully involved and behind it. They had no concerns. And then the last item, there's one edit, and it was my mistake, so I misunderstood them, on the Mid-Fall Cemetery Regulations. There's a new chapter 21. And the edit is the first paragraph on 21.1, that first section, application for military funeral services. About halfway through, it reads, the veteran to be buried must have resided or have family who resides in Platteville or in the Platteville Postal Service. We talked about that, but that should read RE1 School District. That's what they're recommending. just to have a boundary
Instead of postal service?
instead of the
Okay.
postal service. So just a minor edit. Mary printed off a new, resolution, Mayor, for you to sign with the correct RE1, if that's okay with the board, instead of the postal service. Because the postal service goes all the way to I-25, so RE1 school district seemed more reasonable, and that was their recommendation. Otherwise, I think those are the main items that are on this topic: the ordinance, the resolution, and the municipal cemetery regulation changes. So I'm happy to address all of those, or David's also here, you can address any questions with the municipal regulations and the care and upkeep of the memorial at this time.
Any questions, concerns?
This is just giving them the authority to look after the veterans.
Yes, it's a partnership where they're willing to take on responsibility. The town will incorporate the mowing and trimming of the grass and the weeds with their current contract, but otherwise they will prep for services, they'll maintain the flags, the storage shed, all the equipment, they'll take care of the flowers and the bushes and the annual planting, so I think it's a pretty comparable partnership. They're willing to do that, snow removal, so.
Okay, we're not gonna approve all of these at once.
Each one has.
Each one a different motion.
Different motion.
All right, I'll entertain a motion if there's no
I'll
other
move
questions.
to approve ordinance 772, an ordinance of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Platteville amending section 11-4-70 of the Platteville Municipal Code to revise who may be honored by the Platteville Veterans Memorial as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance 772 moved.
Move to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Platteville Veterans Memorial Committee as presented. Move to approve resolution 2018-11.
Well, let's do one at a time.
Just
Oh,
the
sorry.
MOU first.
Include- yeah.
Oh, I thought that was part of the.
Yeah, you're good on
okay.
the MOU.
I have a motion for the memorandum of understanding.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so MOU, now moving on to resolution 2018-11.
And for that one, I would just, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I would just say as amended by the personnel manager regarding the boundaries to be the school district rather than the postal service area.
So instead of saying as presented, I'd ask if it's as amended.
As amended.
I move to approve resolution 2018-11, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Town of Platteville, amending the Platteville Municipal Cemetery Rules and Regulations to address services at the Veterans Memorial, as amended.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved. So we'll move on to action item E, resolution 2018-12. Mr. Rankin?
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor, members of the board. Each year we receive multiple requests for donations. This one came in from the Weld Food Bank. Typically our donations, we have between $1,100 and $1,200 that we budget. We try to focus on local charities. The World Food Bank, I believe we provided a donation in years past, in recent past. The recommendation is for $150. In my board report indicated the board had approximately $450 left in the budget. And I know the carnival for the schools will be coming up here this next month. I anticipate a donation request at that time. And probably receive one or two more. The amount can be any amount you decide. We try to do 150, so we're fair to everybody. The money lasts throughout the year. There's also a letter supporting the packet from the food bank.
It looks like around 200.
What's that?
They say we sincerely appreciate your donation of $200 to the Weldon Food Bank.
It's a
That
formal
was
letter.
from last year. I know
They
it
need to
doesn't,
also say
it doesn't say that, but that's what you donated to them last year.
If you want to
I
go.
thought they were just, there's something in there.
Well, you can request anything you want.
Can I hand this to you? I was gonna hand this to you later this afternoon. Or afternoon.
Here's the carnival.
I think it's done very, we'll be on the, back on the 18th.
Any other questions, concerns, comments? All right, now on the motion.
How much are we getting? Why not do the 200 like we did last year? Things aren't going worse for us.
As the maker of the motion, you make the call. If that's what you choose to do.
Well, I want to talk about it first. Or we
Okay.
just decide. I don't want to just throw it out there and you guys be upset with me.
Well,
Is it
We
okay?
got 1 hour left. We got.
Well, how much do we have left?
To go through the next
After
ones.
yeah, you did 150, there'd be about 300 left in the budget.
And how much is the carnival asking for?
I don't know yet. Yes.
So we had a favor, you donated $150 last year, we're asking for the same amount, if not greater, but would you guys consider giving us some punch cards for the fitness center? Donating some punch cards, like 2 to 4?
We'll talk later.
That is the request.
I think we should stick with this, that way we have money for anything that pop up.
Yeah, we're starting.
When is the available?
That's also, that's another one for me, if I forgot about that one, that's for the, it's at the high school,
Right, and isn't it this fall, right?
typically.
So we have 3 and $450, which is 3 that we know of.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2018-12, a resolution of the Town of Platteville Board of Trustees granting a charitable donation to the Well County Food Bank not to exceed $150.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mary, can I get a roll call, please?
Harold Leggett, Nick Ralston,
Aye.
Spencer Bradman,
Aye.
Fred Blum,
Aye.
Larry Clark,
Aye.
Hope Morris.
Yes. All right. And let's go to action item F, memorandum of understanding, Platteville Senior Organization, Mr. Rankin.
This meeting's been right along, isn't it? Again, previous study session a few months ago, we talked about both the Veteran Memorial MOU and the Senior Center MOU. Met with the Senior Committee several times. Noreen's here representing the senior organization here in Platteville. The MOU probably involves, similar to the memorial, the town maintains the buildings, the town building, we provide utility and general cleaning services, replacing items for maintenance and so forth. And the senior organization, basically, they take very good care of it, as you well know. It's the furniture, all theirs, that they get through donations, they buy through grants that they receive from Wall County, from WOCO, and some general hours of operation. Basically, they're the overall caretakers of the senior center. And it'll be a continual term like the MOU for the Veteran Memorial unless somebody decides to provide notice associated with it. But otherwise, I don't really have anything else to add to this one. I know we'll talk about the center use agreement next, but do you have any questions on it, what they talked about?
So this is just the agreement between the seniors and us to clean up.
Yeah, they maintain, they provide furnishings for like they have through donations of their own funds, and they keep it good caretakers of the facility.
It's to solidify more than just a handshake or a verbal, just so it's in the books. Right.
The use agreement that we're going to talk about after this would be in regards to their limiting the use of that facility. Thanks.
Since these are combined, I'll go ahead and talk about the use agreement. I asked Ray to basically format a use agreement for the senior center similar to our community center use agreement. Karen and I had some communication with me that there's some edits that she'll make.
I would just make some minor edits, not substantive, just a little bit of editing.
Usually it involves immunity and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just the legalese.
Legalese. But this stemmed from, again, the initial conversation meeting with the senior executive committee, talking to the board. And we talked about a $30 per hour rental agreement in the evenings, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Saturdays and Sundays we really didn't talk about, but if those come up, I think, that would be something that they could talk about if that request comes in. I haven't had any yet. We're gonna open up to all area seniors who want a place for a wedding anniversary or, you know, a birthday party, i.e. example, so on and so forth. Part of this agreement is that the senior coordinator will be on site during the rental to make sure that's why there's no deposit. We have staff on site during the rental. So that'd be Christie, our senior coordinator.
Okay, so who's renting the senior center now?
What's that?
Who's gonna be renting the senior center?
This is for other seniors that aren't members, but they can rent it if somebody wanted to, we just want to open it to as many seniors as possible.
For the seniors use only?
For seniors only.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanna
Like
clarify that
if-
for me.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about that back and forth, and we want this to be a senior center, so that if you qualify for 16 or older, but not every senior in the area belongs to the senior organization.
And the senior that's making this party or celebration has to be present.
Yeah. My neighbor tonight, he can't have a 5-year-old birthday party for a great grandson. That's not the way it works.
Jumping castle.
But he could have a 5-year-old's birthday party there if he was the one who scheduled it.
It has to be a senior related event.
Right.
That's a gray area.
That's a gray area, but it's not for,
No, it's not a gray area. This center was built for the
if
seniors.
it's a senior birthday party, that's fine, but you can't twist the rules.
Right, I agree. I just want to make sure we're on.
Yeah, we're on the same page. We talked about that.
Yeah.
That's the way it'll go. Each application will come through town hall, we'll give it to the senior executive committee, they'll meet, and they'll make a decision. But as long as they meet the criteria, I mean, they'll qualify, but they have to meet certain criteria.
Is the senior executive committee in agreement with this memorandum of understanding? There's no,
Yes, we are.
okay, just wanted to put that on the record, yes.
Yes.
I can't say otherwise, she's sitting right there.
That's why I
I'll just wait for her
decided to ask what I
reaction.
And if you bring your kids, we probably will put them to work.
Excellent.
I don't know if any kids that died of hard work.
Me either.
The millennials do.
Well, they think so, yeah.
If any questions you have, that's all I have.
Okay, we can, I'll entertain a motion to approve these individually as well, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the senior center user agreement as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. So, we'll move on to the senior center use agreement. I'll entertain a motion.
I think we just did that, we did not order.
Oh,
So we
sorry.
need to go back to
Okay,
the-
let's do the MOU.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Platteville Senior Organization as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Both of those moving forward. Alright, we'll move to reports. Kendra? Sorry. There's water moving towards the laptop. Thank you.
That's part of the report.
That's the report, yes, that was my report.
Well,
So I
thank you.
apologize for not providing a written report. Basically, I've been working on the documents that you all just approved, the MOUs, the agreements, and those kind of things. The other thing that I will be seeing is a memo, which is perhaps interesting to lawyers, maybe not so much to you, but we'll see. About, you may have heard about the Wayfair case that was decided by the United States Supreme Court. It really has to do with Amazon and Wayfair, the two biggest sort of online retailers. What that case said was that you can now collect local sales tax on all Amazon deliveries in town. So, that's great news. Unfortunately, because you're not home rule, you now have to turn around and wait for the state to act. So, the state collects your sales tax, so we have to wait for the state to do something. So, it's good news, but it's not going to happen quickly, because if you were home rule, you could implement this tomorrow. but because you are statutory and the state collects your tax, you have to go to the state. The Colorado Municipal League is going to propose some legislation to the state, we believe, at the next legislative session to help us collect these taxes. So, again, good news overall, but it may take a while to implement. But I'm going to send you a memo about the case in case you're interested in reading the details of it. So we've been working with that. There are some other issues. There's a data privacy bill that's taking effect soon, and so the town has to adopt some new procedures to ensure privacy of personal identification. I'll be getting that memo as well. Really exciting. But other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you.
Mr. Rankin?
Do you have any questions on my report? You did actually get this time, right?
Yes.
When I actually emailed to Mary, it helps. Not just stick it in the packet. There's one typo. The Tuesday, September 19th is actually Tuesday, September 18th on that first day session night. I'm going to ask you to pass these around. Mary will also put in the Dropbox copies of the study session schedule. So we'll take a look at those. I'd like to start off this year with kind of a budget 101 overview, so relatively new board to the budget. So David Green and I and Mary will focus on a study session for an hour before the regular meeting on the September 18th to kind of help clarify how our budget's set the way it is and why we have special revenue funds, our impact fee fund, and our two enterprise funds for water and sewer. And then on Tuesday the 25th, the last Tuesday of the month, our normal study session will start at 6:30, and we'll dive into capital projects and some Mary's going to work on various benefit options for supplemental insurance, so forth, and she received quotes for a health rate increase this year, which is about double from last year. We'll get into that. It's still below 10%, but not much. But years ago, it used to be 20%. So we'll talk about that. And then October, we hit it hard, if you will. October 2nd is highlighted. That's when we present the draft to the board. It's a very bare bone draft. There's not a lot of content to you yet. You haven't talked about it, but by statute, Mary and I present that to you before October 15th, or by October 15th. Instead of calling a special meeting, because the second meeting is after that, we'll just put it on the second meeting, or the October 2nd meeting. And then, unlike previous years, we'll do one night focus on the general fund in order of the budget, from beginning to end, no bouncing around this time. So staff's just kind of tolerating me. Everybody has to be here. I try to keep David at one night, but he's going to be here multiple nights this time. Both his girls are in college, he has no excuse.
Uh-oh. Both of them already? Wow.
His wife may not like me, but so Tuesday, Wednesday, the 9th general fund, the 10th special revenue funds, the majority of them. Diane, the library won't be here that night. Then on the 17th, we'll do the enterprise impacts and capital improvement funds. We'll talk about in the beginning, and then you'll make allocations and prioritize your focus, and then wage and benefits conversation. The 23rd, I always hold one night as a reserve night for any follow-up tight ends and clean up. And then I put it up by the meeting of December 4th, the first meeting. You have to approve the final budget by statute before December 15th, so we'll do it on December 4th. There's been a few times we went into November, but depending on how the budget process goes, I can't predict that. But my staff will present it to you and address any questions you may have. And it's a fun process. Mary tries to make really good food for the budget.
I see how you snuck a day in here from handout to your report. Nice.
Maybe we could talk to St. Nicholas Catholic Church and bring them beer.
Hopefully we won't have any left over.
Like more daily.
Going back to my report, David, as indicated with Mr. Ermer from Excel Energy, I hope to have by mid to late next month, October, a final design and some cost estimates. He felt the project fit our budget, because we have about $350,000 undergrounding, 1% undergrounding fund with Excel for a franchise agreement. He felt that would probably do it. We can't guarantee until he gets final numbers. And when he gives an estimate, he says that's a pretty hard line estimate. It doesn't vary a whole lot, because he actually gets it from contractors. Mentioned some landscaping Dave and I have been working on. Areas around town hall for years just look bad. It's time to, I want to fix them up, make it look nice. We've worked on the senior center and the community center. We have some budget use for that. Also, the gentleman we're talking about, and I made defer to David, but he put out bids. David put out bids to do landscaping that we held off last year to this year for Rogers Farm, the new park, our area around the basketball court, and some stretching that stretches along Circle Boulevard. Nobody responded to the RFP. So we're going to work with this local contractor directly to see what he would help us do with over there. That budget allows. Mentioned that Atmos System Safety Integrity Program. Basically, they're replacing some old lines in parts of Old Town, over off of Goodrich, Marion, River. Doesn't involve a whole lot. At first I thought it was town-wide, but they're replacing lines to be proactive, to get those out of the ground and put new ones in. Most of it will be bored, so there won't be tearing up our streets. We want to make sure they can do that. Connecting point budget items, and then the town property contracts. Kindred later this week will send me those draft purchase and sell agreements, and they'll contact the 3 bid winners, and we'll hopefully have those in front of you on the next meeting on September 18th. That'll be quote the closing, if all goes well. I know Mary talked to her today about getting some title work done. We'll probably do that too. But other than that, you have David sent to Mary a handout to you for the trip. I've never been on, David has, but bus tour for Water District, looking at our reservoirs and learning more about rural water. So that's something you're interested in, just please let Mary know. Otherwise, I'm mainly getting ready for the David Green comes in next week. I've sent out the worksheets to the department heads. They're starting to work on those. They have until the 17th of this month to give those back to me electronically. And then Mr. Green inputs them up or uploads that information into what's called a working copy. And I've been working on sales, and property tax did come in. It's slightly more than last year, but not more than maybe 20,000 total. Our total assessed valuations did not go up much. But keep in mind that property assessments have about an 18-month lag. So this really was made of 16, so hopefully next year. Yeah. So hopefully next year goes up. A few years ago it went up drastically, but we had a big mineral right oil and gas boom. And it's gone back down since that time. Sales tax is doing pretty well year to date. That's the biggest reason, other than under spending basically throughout the budget that we've had. We built that threshold back up to about $2 million reserve in the town's accounts, which is nice to have. But a lot of little different changes we're going to talk about in detail. It can get pretty overwhelming, so we'll take it one step at a time as we go on the budget process. And feel free to answer any questions or ask any question at any time, at any process. That's what we're here for. So, otherwise, I don't have a whole lot to add. Any questions you may have?
I just want to let everybody know, I'm going to be out of the country from the 26th through the 10th, so I'll miss a bunch of these.
Oh, sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're
Sign up for that deployment.
I'll miss the 2nd, 9th, and the 10th.
Okay.
Oh, the 10th will be back. Just show up. It's
Dead tired. 18
No,
hours.
take that. I did the same. No, but I do have something for David. The porta potty over on Lincoln Park is tipped over.
They've been tipped. Most schools have been tipped every week, last 3 weeks.
Oh, really? I went by just before I came.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Of course, they were
yesterday to service it.
Oh, good.
They're here on Mondays.
Oh.
As we go into budget, one thing I want to add, I'm going to be more specific before each meeting. I'll send that information to the board. Then we go over the general fund, I'll have some more specific information. For example, I know we have people in the crowd that we'll talk about parks. I know we talked about that before, May, ball fields. So I'll mention which night that'll occur, but out in Everbridge, and make sure it's posted so people are, this is very generalized. So, for example, when we talk about enterprise funds, it was a little more detail about a new mechanical plant we had to have built by December 31st, 2021. That may draw some interest in that conversation. The good thing is the Dollar grant, the signed, executed one came back today electronically, the hard copies in the mail. I passed that on to Adrian and Mary and David. David contacted JVA, Kevin Tone. They're going to start immediately to get the utility study update done. Hopefully we can still complete in the next 4 to 5 months. Because next year we have to tackle the whole design and engineering aspect, which is, the study update's about $50,000. Design engineering is $500,000. Then building is to be about $5 million. So each year gets more expensive next couple of years. So the utility study update should come back with what they're recommending for some fee increases in their base rates to help pay for this new mechanical treatment wastewater facility. I'm not trying to be gloom and doom, just present the facts. Give you ample notice. So, Mayor, turn it over to you.
I just wanted to let the board know that we have a Harvest Days meeting tomorrow at 1:30, post-Harvest Days meeting. If any of you are interested in joining.
Here.
Yes, here.
We usually do a review and pros and cons and changes, we always try to make it better.
Yep.
What time is that?
1:30. You come voice your opinions. Yes, anyone who wants to get involved, I encourage. I think that's all I have. Anybody else? Anything for the board?
I wanted to bet with Dave, I told him 8 o'clock.
Oh.
Oh, we got some more to talk about?
Okay, well.
I was told to keep it zipped.
Dave, did you have something to talk about?
All right, we stand adjourned at 7:38.